The station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us for DC News Now at 4.
Here's a look at today's top stories all across the DMV.
Breaking now at 4, the 5 passengers aboard the submarine bound for the Titanic crash site are believed to be dead. The Coast Guard saying that debris found on the ocean floor near the ship matches that of the sub. We'll tell you what else we're learning about the discovery.
Metro is facing a massive budget deficit that could drastically increase time between trains and reduce bus routes. Today, their leaders coming together to discuss solutions. Hear what they're calling for with time running out.
And with summer officially here, what better time to get the family together for a trip to one of our amazing parks? But before you leave, we're going to help you stretch your dollars so you're not overpaying during your visit.
This morning, an ROV, or remote operated vehicle, from the vessel Horizon Arctic discovered the tail cone of the Titan submersible approximately 1,600 feet from the bow of the Titanic on the seafloor.
That tough news coming this last hour. All 5 people on board the submersible bound for the Titanic wreckage are believed to be dead. You're watching DC News Now at 4. I'm Mark Hall.
And we have a camera in front of us. I'm Annalisa Gale. Experts have described what likely happened as a catastrophic implosion there, in a press conference just minutes ago, saying that whatever happened likely happened quickly. Those 5 on board were facing a horrific deadline as their 96 hours of oxygen was projected to end this morning. Earlier this afternoon, the U.S. Coast Guard announced they found a debris-filled field near the site of the Titanic with a remotely operated vehicle, and just a short time ago saying that they found the tail of the Titan.
And Lisa, that sub-Titan lost contact with parent company Ocean Gate Expeditions about an hour and 45 minutes after it launched Sunday morning. And crews were given hope late yesterday morning when several underwater noises were detected in the search area. Officials say that no connection, however, between the noise and the sub. And as we've learned, this is now a recovery operation.
In consultation with experts from within the Unified Command, the debris is consistent with the catastrophic loss of the pressure chamber. Upon this determination, we immediately notified the families.
Now, questions still remain about how that all happened leading up to this. The Coast Guard says details will be made available as they investigate. Stay with us for details on air and online.
All right, Annalise, let's switch gears now. We got to talk about, we're going to go back to those stories, of course, but let's talk about the weather here closer to home and taking a look outside. I believe is that raining, and where is that? Is that Roslyn? Or?
Yeah, overlooking Roslyn. Looks a little cloudy out there and still raining. And when will this dry out, Janessa?
You know, we're going to be excited about it, okay? We're not going to get through this rain anytime soon, and so we're going to have to just deal with the cloud coverage. You have this area of low pressure well to our south at this point, and it wants to spin out, and it's not budging. So it's meandering across the upper Tennessee Valley into areas of West Virginia at this point. Live look out towards Annapolis, much of the same, the increasing clouds, and you can see from radar, composite radar, the moisture is sagging across I-81 right now. That live shot out towards Roslyn, there is a good fog in the sky. So I know the last couple of weeks we've been talking about hazy conditions, and now it's just flat out fog that is taking over our region because of dew points. The last couple of days, our weather team has been focused on the dew points, the moisture in the atmosphere. That just has not materialized yet. Do not get comfortable. The warm fronts out towards Richmond at this point, and that's why we're dealing with severe weather in that area. This front is going to lift to the north and east, allowing for dew points to really start to pick up overnight into your Friday. So still preparing for that. It just has slowed down. So the ease of this moisture has really started to happen. Here's the front I'm talking about. Dew points, they're pretty comfortable at this point. It's actually fairly chilly outside. We're below average temperature wise, but as this lifts to the north and west, it will change things as we go into the start of your Friday and Friday after afternoon. Visibility is a concern. We're down to about 5 miles in front of you here across the district. Mostly cloudy skies for really the rest of the evening, and then we have an abundance of rain for the start of your weekend. We'll time things out coming up.
Janessa, thank you. An update this afternoon. WMATA is projecting a $750 million deficit by July 2025 if things stay the same.
Yeah, Metro's Finance and Capital Committee held a meeting late this morning discussing the deficit and its impact. Our Tosin Fakile has the latest.
Metro's Finance and Capital Committee met Thursday morning to discuss the projected $750 million deficit starting next July, that is July 2025. Officials are calling the deficit a, quote, transit death spiral. During the meeting, officials said unlike other major city transit systems, Metro doesn't have dedicated funding sources. Officials say the projected deficit for fiscal year 2025 is $750 million and could be over $1 billion by fiscal year 2035. Officials say they are not trying to scare people, but to give an early warning.
This is real. This is not an every year occurrence. This is not standard operating procedure. I believe we very much need a stable, predictable, and sustainable funding source for Metro. And I fundamentally believe that needs to be both operating and capital.
That projected $750 million deficit starting next July, if things don't change, could translate to getting rid of 98 Metro bus lines, with the remaining 37 running at reduced frequency. And for the trains, besides going to 20 to 30 minutes on each line, the deficit could also mean no night service on Metro Rail, a thought that worries Metro riders.
That's a little scary. I mean, even today I'm getting off work at like 10, so that'd be pretty unfortunate if that was like right now. So it sounds like it's going to affect a lot of people.
That would definitely affect my commute to work, which is not a good thing because it would mean I would have to leave home even earlier and get to spend less time with my family. So I wouldn't be a fan of that.
Metro officials showed the several ways they say they've been working to manage costs, which include non-revenue fleet reduction and elimination of some positions.
All right, thanks, Tosin. Happening now, a jury is deliberating in the perjury case against former Loudoun County School spokesman Wade Byard. Byard is accused of lying to a special grand jury that is investigating a series of assaults in Ashburn high schools. Our Haley Mylon has been in the courtroom covering this story all week for us. She joins us with the latest.
During closing arguments today, Special Prosecutor Theo Stamos suggested that Byard's testimony to a special grand jury in 2022 was part of a cover-up in Loudoun County Public Schools. But his defense attorney argued that he's been made the fall guy for the division. At the focus of the case, when the now former spokesman knew about the sexual assault at Stonebridge High School on May 28, 2021. He told a special grand jury that he didn't know about it until months later when the same assailant assaulted another schoolmate, this time at Broad Run High School. Attorney General Jason Miyares impaneled a special grand jury to investigate the division's handling of the assaults. Stamos says that Byard handled the district's messaging the day of the Stonebridge assault, writing to families only that an angry parent caused an incident at the school. That parent, Scott Smith, the father of the victim who showed up demanding answers. The notification made no mention of assault allegations. Witness after witness today took the stand saying they couldn't remember Byard talking about the Stonebridge assault, including co-workers and his wife, Brenda Byard. Despite Stonebridge Principal Timothy Flynn saying on the stand that he told Byard everything the day it happened. Byard's attorney argued he had nothing at stake in telling the truth, but Stamos says he chose to be deceptive. In Loudoun County, Haley Mylon, DC News Now.
Haley, thank you. Emergency rescue teams pulled a body out of the Anacostia River in southeast D.C. this morning. They were originally called in hopes of rescuing the person who has not been identified. This happened around 9:30. D.C. Fire and EMS said because of the death, Metro PD would be conducting an investigation. Stay with us for more details as we learn more.
Well, D.C. is once again the target of House Republicans. A newly proposed federal spending plan looks to restrict some of the district's policies, from traffic safety measures to HIV prevention. Now, residents say the interference by Congress is making them upset. In a statement today released by D.C. Attorney General Brian Schwab, he said in part the budget proposal threatens the health and safety of everyone who lives in, works in, or visits the District of Columbia. Now, taking a look at specifics from that spending bill, it It would ban federal and local funds from going on to legalize marijuana in the district. It would also ban the use of automated traffic enforcement. The bill also looks to block funds for D.C.'s Reproductive Health Non-Discrimination Act of 2014. That act makes sure people living in D.C. are protected from discrimination by their employers based on their reproductive health decisions.
Well, if you love art and you love history, an exhibit opening tonight at the Washington County Museum of Fine Arts in Hagerstown is something that you won't want to miss. The collection is a treasure from the Maryland State Archives dating back 300 years. It includes scenic American and European paintings and portraits, documents, and rare sculptures. Artifacts dating back to 1649, that's just 15 years after settlers colonized in St. Mary's, Maryland, are part of this special exhibit.
There's something for everyone. So if you love lush landscape paintings or marine paintings, you'll see those and you can appreciate those just for that. If you're a history geek, you're going to understand the story of the founding of the state and the way artists helped tell that story.
And you'll have plenty of time to check it all out. The exhibit runs through October.